Hey guys, back with another Maple Story video here. This time, finally cleared multi Lotus on the Erel. Holy smokes, this was a grind. A lot of close calls. This is honestly a near perfect run for me. A lot of things went right with the phase 3 purple orb phases, but this was one of my more satisfying solo gameplay clears in a long time. Got lucky right here. The lasers switched back going the other way. I could save an iframe there and just maximize uptime. And I learned that with the arrow, I had to take, at the current gear that I'm at, I had to take a few risks. And especially during my burst phase, I had to be really aggressive with my iframes here. I could not get stunned or die with my big cooldowns up, which is Eternal Guardian and Sentinel Rise, because I just lost so much DPS. And since DPS was such a tight 10-minute run DPS wise, I really had to clear phase one. I see, like, I got sucked into the lasers right there and really kind of was horrible. But you see how the bombs there. I'm pretty sure I got really lucky here. But I think learning from phase one that I had to kite better these bombs and use the arrow mobility, their little teleport. Not that one, that was a dash, but a little teleport dash, my A skill, allowing me to stay on the ground to maximize uptime and to kite bombs better. So you'll see right here, I think I'm going to use it here. And it's just a little bit of it's not a big movement. It's not a big, doesn't seem like a big deal, but just being able to stay on the ground here, maximize uptime, and kite these bombs is actually huge. So right there, you use it again. It died right there. So I was just bad positioning. But like I said, deaths during my uptime, I saved my iframe there because I knew that I needed to maximize my burst window, which came up right before I died. And so here's my burst again. Needed to pair that with DS4 too, so I waited a bit and able to get it chunked down pretty good here. And there, got lucky again, lasers switched directions so I could stay on the ground easier. I think I got to teleport back here. Yep. And there, sort of using my speed and mobility, I'm able to kite these bombs a little bit better, save my iframes, and make sure that I'm cleaving them down as best as I can while I'm still facing Lotus to do damage to the boss, right? I think that was one of the mistakes that I made. I was a little safe right there, but I knew I needed to use it. But one of the things is I was trying to kill the bombs by facing away from Lotus, and I just wasn't doing enough damage to clear, especially during my burst, to actually do enough damage to get through phase one. And so my timer essentially was that I needed to get clear phase one around 4 minutes. Like, goodness gracious. Around 4 minutes because I needed to save my burst for phase two. So I had to use impenetrable just to be safe there. I still have my stun back up if I wanted in 3 seconds, if I want to use it to sort of kite these bombs better. But here you can see I figured out how to clear these bombs while also, oh, I was running to clear the bombs while also facing the boss, right? Which is super important. So I actually got an insane time here. I cleared this phase one in under 4 minutes. So I was honestly shocked here and was safe right there. Reduced my iframe. Just kill it. So I did about, I'm right on par, about 300 build DPM, a little bit better through phase one, which is the hardest phase. Now, by no means does it mean that it was a guaranteed clear. I needed to get a little bit lucky with RNG for phase three with the purple orb phases. But timing wise, phase one, that was as good as it gets. 3 deaths easily could have been avoided, but they weren't crucial. They weren't like backbreaking, missing a lot of DPS because of it type of deaths. They were actually timed out pretty well. So you can see right there, I was able to burst down phase two again, 4.5 minutes. I think it's gonna end up being like 440, which again is huge. I mean, just every second for me counts. You'll see at the end of the fight how sweaty it really was, and I played pretty flawlessly here. So One of the nice things about Erel for Lotus was that every time I get knocked back in practice mode, it's easy. I can just spam all cures, and then I can use my blink to get back right on top of the boss. So you see, it really helps with uptime, mobility. Right here, I just kind of all cure and blink at the same time. Just really fun gameplay here. Really fluid as well. Doesn't feel clunky at all. It's not really like it's better than a charge dash skill because of the fluidity with all cures. And the nice arrow range here allows me, even if I don't want to kite back, that I can still attack from far, right? So I got lucky here. No purple orb phase. I get the little lightning on the ground phase here. So instead, I use my iframe. I could have stunned there, but I actually was a little bit greedy with the stun. So one of the things about Lotus in phase 3 is that there's about in between each of these sort of purple orb phases or these lightning phases is about 45 seconds. So I was trying to time it out right so I could actually stun it and delay it or maybe even skip it so that I was able to just maximize burst. So the last thing I wanted to do here was not get my burst off, which comes up in 11 seconds, and like hit into purple orb or something, right? So I needed to make sure that I got full value out of it and full quantity rise, right? So it's a 2 minute stun. So here my burst is up and I'm looking there, stun right there. Just make sure I use it. Full uptime on the burst, will skill right after with DS4 up. Okay, and that allowed me, that timing allows me at least one more use of the stun, which I'm going to use basically again to maximize DS4 and my burst skill, right? My destruction V3 skill. So right here is getting a little misplay there, but again, 3 minutes left, right? So I got 3 minutes left. I'm still a little bit ahead of schedule, around 300 build DPM, right? But now my burst is down and it's going to be sweaty. Let's just say it's going to be sweaty, but it's again like it's it's doable. I'm in a good spot here. But again, luckily I get this lightning phase again instead of purple orb phase. So the reason why I don't want purple orb phase, that's like 30 seconds of doing no damage to the boss. And this tight of a fight, that's make or break on the clear, right, with my gear. So right now I'm about 30, 65 mil cap and about 29% ignoring my defense. So that's about what I've seen people clear it at. Maybe gear is slightly better or worse than I've seen other classes clear, but I think Erel, because of their mobility and ability to stay on the ground in phase 1 and get back on top of the boss in phase 3, is actually in a good spot. So 2 minutes up, 2 minutes left, right? There's still a lot left to do. Again, kind of on par. Oh, lucky again, right here. Lightning orb again here. So I actually have nothing available for it. So I'm going to have to hop on the platform, which is totally fine, right? I can save my iframes, save my cooldowns, and for another opportunity to maximize uptime. So I was able to stand there, avoid it, and continue DPSing. So here again, stun is up, my burst is up, and I just use it. So DS4 popped up. I knew that I had a window here because that lightning phase just happened, right? So I wasn't going to get purple orb phase. So I just used it right there with DS4, kind of came up perfectly. And now for me here, I'm slightly ahead of schedule, right? Feeling really good. I need about, it's a 3 trillion, little over 3 trillion HP. So about 300 build DPM. So I'm trying to do the math here. And I'm trying to time out my stuns and my iframes just to maximize DPS, right? This chaos is coming in. A lot of things are falling around. I just don't want to get caught in a bad spot. So with about 15 seconds left on my burst, I use my iframe there, or my stun there, maximize uptime here. Just the way the arrow mechanics works, it was important to get my DPS there, and died. Got sucked in, but that little suck in teleport skill was totally fine because that means that there was no purple orb phase. If I got purple orb phase there, it would have been GG, game over. But luckily, took that death. Unfortunate timing, but it worked out, and I'm in the clear. Honestly, I pretty much know I'm going to kill it here, and kind of getting stoked about it. Just making sure I'm not going to die, positioning correctly, and there it is again. That could have been, if that was purple orb right there, I would have died. I would have failed. That would have been a horrible ending to a long run, but got it done. Huge. Actually, super stoked about it. Consistent as it gets for the DPS, which is what I needed as far as burst, getting maximum burst here. And I was really surprised here. My enhanced spear, my main filler skill, was my top DPS. 762 uses is actually insane because usually my destruction of ruin skill is my top skill by far. And in my previous clears, I was probably in the mid 600s uses. So I got an extra 100 use counts, uses here, and that really propelled me to honestly a pretty smooth clear, or a pretty not that sweaty clear. So really stoked about it. I mean, Erel was really fun. Really fun and impressed with the gameplay. Had a hard time with my Demon Slayer. May try it later because my Demon Slayer's gear is about the same. But Erel, not bad. Took a little bit of practice, getting used to things, but got it done. That was a lot of fun. Throwback to when people were clearing this back around the same gear when 67 mil cap was top of the game. So a lot of fun. Insane. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.